All right, those that come in love and light, high vibes and positivity. To you, I address greetings and welcome, and thank you for stopping by. Collective, this may be you as well. Those of you who are high vibers and have a tendency to resonate with a lot of the things I talk about, including the readings. Okay, so, but this is pertaining to me personally. This is just a reminder. Okay, you all hear me talk about this on various different videos I create, whether it's readings or just teachings and discussions. I talk about emotional intelligence. I talk about development, growing up, communication skills, interpersonal, intrapersonal skills, mental health. I just talk about a lot of things here, right? And I'm just going to say this first and foremost, not many, if you don't know me personally, then you may not have a clue as to what my age is. Okay. So I just want to throw this out there that old Bloomy Bloom, okay, is pushing 50 years old. Okay. So why am I saying that? Because I just look like this and I just sound this way. So people have a tendency to think I'm a youngster, okay? But I'm not. Now, so on top of being an old soul, okay? Because you got some people in that age range, and that's another video. But this is what I want to say about communications as someone that is considered to be an influencer or on social media, okay? But just in general, because of what I've come to know and realize about a lot of the things I have dealt with in my life and a lot of the people I've dealt with, from ranging from kin folks to people that I've dated to people that I was friends with to people I was in spiritual groups with, religious circles with, but just all of the things that I've come to see and know and understand. On top of the role that people were used to me playing, I am fully aware of the dynamics, the role that I played in things, the roles I was assigned, air quote, and people got very comfortable and used to. Well, with the ascension, healing, and transformation, and as it continues, I'm not the person a lot of people remember, and I'm not saying it in a good or bad way. I'm simply saying there's been growth and transformation. So some of the things that once upon a time that would have been very easy to get me to like, oh, go on a hunt and all this stuff. It's like I'd be like, I don't care. Shit. You get hit to the game. Okay. And then on top of the fact, we got karmics. If y'all in something similar to myself, then you kind of know what I'm talking about. You have weirdos. You have people, this is the name of the game. You got people constantly calling you, holding the phone like it's still 1990. Okay. Remember back in the days, y'all, for those of y'all that's, 90s was your era, you know what I'm saying? Remember back in the days when we used to do the prank calls and when we used to, stalking back then went something like you call with star such and such a number or whatever, and then you hold it and then you hang up, bitch. Most of us, this is when we were younger. Okay. We were, what I'm saying, in our 1920s, most of us when we were behaving like that. Okay. And ideally, we grow up. Okay. We're all guilty of having been that way before. But ideally, at some point in the game, you heal and grow up and realize like that's kind of immature. Okay. If you have something to say it. If you're going to call someone, call them and convey what the hell it is you got to say. Okay. If they don't answer, you leave a message. If since we're in this, techie world, okay, then send a text message, or whatever. And this is because people like myself, we do get tired of the games. We don't have time to entertain dark witches and warlocks with their weird nigga bitch shit, trying to call and just sit there and hold the phone so you can say, you know what I'm saying? Hello, hello, 5 times so they can go and say, look, I tried to call so and so, or so they can do another ritual and spell while they have it on mute, or they're just desperate and just low down, dirty scoundrels. Okay, just desperate and ridiculous. And quite frankly, I and people like myself, we just do not have time to entertain that. We don't mean any disrespect to any sincere folks out there, but this is how it's going to work. If you want to get a hold of me and people like me, you're going to have to be an adult, whether you know us personally or not. If you have something you want to convey and say, you're going to have to be an adult and leave a message. And if you don't have anything to hide and worry about, then this shouldn't be something that concerns you. But you need to, you know what I'm saying, convey that or send a text message with that information. Otherwise, you're not going to get people like me. Every so often, I'll slip up and answer the phone if I'm expecting a call. And if I don't catch the number and I glance at it, and if it looks similar to something, then I may accidentally answer. But for the most part, if I'm not expecting a call or some type of business, I'm not going to answer the phone if I don't recognize the number. And if I recognize the number and you're someone that, you know, we're on the outs or I haven't spoken with you in forever, then if you're sincere and legit in your reason for approaching me, you shouldn't have a problem leaving the message and why you're calling. Because if you leave a message and don't say why you're leaving a message, chances are I'm not going to call you either. If you're contacting me, you need to be an adult and say who you are, why you're calling, and it needs to be clear. Not, I'm just calling to say hey and what's up and whoop-de-whoop. It's time for us to grow up, okay? So if there's anything that you're wanting to convey to me, then you're going to need to leave a message, because I'm not going to answer and play the 1990s game where we're holding the phone and somebody's breathing on the other line and you hear the radio in the background, bitch, and you hear random motherfuckers. Like, ain't nobody got time for that shit, okay? We really need to go somewhere and heal and grow up so that we can communicate what we feel and what we're desiring to communicate to people. Okay, even if it's a challenge. I'm not saying that it's easy. I'm just saying, even if it's a challenge, because I'm not going to return calls. I'm not going to star 69. I'm not going to look at the number, and I'm not going to attempt to call it again. Like, I'm not in that energy any further. So it's really a waste of these people's time. Okay. And again, for those who don't mean harm, you got to understand where people like me come from. We get tired of the games and the bullshit. We get tired of dealing with teenager ass energies from old dusty motherfuckers. We get tired of playing those games with people. I'm finna call and hold the phone. Like we're still back in Compton, bitch. Like we still fucking, you know what I'm saying? 19 and 20 and shit. You know what I'm saying? Nah. And people who don't know us and just wanting to, well, you still need to grow up and get a level of development and say what the hell you need to say. Whether this is you want to inform somebody about something happened, you have to learn how to grow up to maturely convey it. I'm going to give you all examples, okay? And so just play with all this. But this is just a friendly reminder so that folks will just stop there any expectation that you have regarding me in this way. I'm not going to call you back when you don't leave a message or if you hold the phone. In fact, I'm not going to be answering if you don't clearly identify who you are and clearly be straight with what you're wanting and why you're calling. I'm not going to respond to no random message. Hey, what's up? I just wanted to say, hey, and what's up? Nah. Because if I'm not currently conveying with you, or we're not currently connecting, I'm not going to just jump up and respond to rando. You better be legit and come correct with what the hell you're contacting me for. And if you're scared about it, you got to work that out. Okay. Now, let me give you some examples. Throwing it out there. You call me or someone else, because if it's just people you're dealing with, a grown-up, an adult, they don't answer, okay? But since you don't have any hidden dishonor, and since you're not worrying about anything, then you leave a message. Hi, this is John. I know I haven't spoken with you I'm calling to inform you that so-and-so has passed away. I'm calling to inform you that I need, I wanted to apologize to you for our last interaction or some things that has happened, and I would like the opportunity. See, now these are adult, mature, emotionally developed way you handle something, not rando, okay, and call and hang up and call and hold the phone and all that kind of shit. Is you leave a message and you be sincere about that. Okay, this is so and so. I saw you on social media. If that's the thing, I saw you on social media. I saw you here. I would like to talk to you about some things that happened. I would like an opportunity to share my role in something. Okay, I understand if you don't, but I'm putting it out there. But see, this is how you get folks like me. This is how you'll get to us. We'll give you a space. It may be minimum, but we will give you a space. Okay? But we're not doing the answering of the phone, and we're not doing the star 69. We're not playing that game, hold the phone and say, hello, hello, can you hear me? Are you there? What, it's just, honey, somebody need to go back and work on some more development and learn how to communicate, even doing it afraid. Okay? So yeah, I just wanted to put that out there. So, and then for those of you on a more professional level, as it pertains to the things that I do, okay, but very similar. If you are interested in anything that I do with Bloom from Within Love and things that you have seen here, then you still need to have a level of adultness too when you're seeking or inquiring, okay? Because I don't do the rando. It's like, if you saw me, you need to be adult and mature and developed enough. Hey, I am one of your subscribers on YouTube, or your followers or subscribers on TikTok. I was on this live, or I saw this particular video. I saw whatever, and I'm interested in knowing about the readings you do, or the Reiki you do, or the light language you do, or the aura sprays you make, or whatever it is. I can be reached at wooty wooty woo. Okay, like that's development. And then following the instructions, I put certain instructions, I'll say stuff like text only. Okay, and that's because when you get to, people like myself, you deal with a lot of different weirdos. You're trying to cut through the fuckery, the game players. Okay, we're not going to waste our time sitting and chit chat and answering random questions, and just because some people are just fucking with folks, just trying to get in people's head, doing their weird nigga bitch shit, wasting time, trying to, somehow associate with you. So it's like, look, clear cut to the point, text only. Who are you? Where did you see me at? What do you want to inquire about? I will respond within 24 hours, which is business professional. Some would even say 72, depending on their schedules. Okay? So I just wanted to throw that out there, and I'm sure many could relate. Okay? But this is why. So for those that don't mean harm, try to see it from the perspective of folks like myself. When you've gone through hell and back, the school of hard knocks, you've dealt with a lot of haters, naysayers, people betraying you left and right, from your own kinfolk to your own ex. When you have dealt with that shit, you don't have a lot of space or patience for people who aren't emotionally developed enough to fucking know how to communicate as an adult. We just lose patience for that. And it's not meant to be disrespectful, but we lose patience for that. Many of us have children or young adults that are codependent on us, and that we have to operate like that on a day-to-day basis because they don't have that level of development. And so the last thing that we want to deal with is supposedly, if that's a word, grown ass motherfuckers, okay, our age and older, that cannot find the way to convey how they feel or what they need to say, or don't know how to work through their own fears of communication. Is exhausting. And frankly, it's not our job. Okay. So if there's things people want to communicate out there, they need to be able to do just that. But annoying people like me is only serving to work against you. Playing games, trying to manifest with spell work and draw us in and all that shit. We're going to get annoyed and we're going to ricochet that back and we're going to call judgment on it because people need to develop. Stop trying to manipulate people to communicate with you and do what you have to do. Okay, that's the best wisdom nuggets I can give for people who know that they need to communicate some things to folks. Well, stop trying to manipulate that and do it. Stop playing games, stop doing spell work, stop triangulating, stop trying to go all around the kin folks to get people to do it. Grow the fuck up. Because all of that foolery is going to be met with resistance from folks like me. And quite frankly, penalties are starting to go up for continuing to try to fuck with someone. If you can't come correct, don't. Let it go. If you can't, be honorable, okay? That's the best advice I can give to just folks in general. If you can't do that, let shit go. Don't try to do no manipulation. Don't try to do no spell. Let it go. Folks like myself are tired of trying to emotionally carry immature people. Come here, John, let me hold your hand and help you tell me what you need to say to me. Though we can understand that we got respect and can understand the journey and the struggle, we also understand that one must do it. It's called growth. It's called maturity. It's called development for a reason. And as long as people like me or so-called healers or sensitives continue to handicap people, hold hand, old dusty ass, you know what I'm saying? Please don't take that too, the wrong way, but it's like irritating because this be old motherfuckers. We don't have time for that. Some people don't want to develop and they want people to keep meeting them down there. Well, guess what? I'm not meeting people down there. Either people grow up and come correct to deal with me or they don't get my audience. I'm okay with that. People incessant on playing in my energy, well, then they're also incessant on receiving the penalty. I'm okay with that too. Because listen, if I have something that I'm feeling drawn or called to say, or I feel responsible to say something, I'm not sitting back somewhere oogala boogala or abracadabra trying to come call me, think of me. I'm not trying to dream infiltrate. I'm not doing none of that because I'm a fucking adult. Not just chronologically. I'm not finna send the homie in this one and that one. I'm an adult. And that's what I expect. And that's the only thing that I will acknowledge Anything less than that, I'm going to ignore and continue to ignore. And continue to call penalty on people who continue to fuck with me. Okay? This is 2023. It's time for folks to go on in their respective lives, grow up, heal, get a life, whatever. But understanding the laws of cause and effect, fucking with the wrong ones is costly. There's a day of reckoning for everybody. Ain't now nobody an exception to this rule. Not a group, not a society, not a posse, not nobody. Especially when it comes to dealing with divine ones.